So I got to get some stuff moved around today. As you can see, Hurricane Beryl is coming to Oklahoma today, apparently. So I'm trying to get all this stuff knocked out. I got to move a bunch of old trucks off of another place. We're back working on this 57 today, as you know. And I've got like the frame that came with that truck and like an old 50, I think it's 59 Apache that I ended up trading to get the junkyard dog truck. So I got to go get that stuff moved and trade it off to the scrapyard today. And then we're gonna get some more stuff done on the 57, get it roadworthy. So let me see if I can load some of this crap up before I get soaked. Wish me luck, it's not looking good for me. Dang Beryl. Is that how you say it, Beryl? Beryl? So here's the plan today. This is a frame off of a 55, 57 pickup. It's the one that came as the original frame on the 57 we're working on here. Remember I swapped it with the 88, 98 frame. But what I'm gonna do with this one, I'm gonna bring this home and eventually, one of these days, I'm gonna replace the front clip with a Camaro front clip. And I've already got a 4-link for the rear end. I put like an S10 rear end and a 4-link suspension back there. And I'm gonna build a fleet side, big back window, 55 truck, which I already have behind the shop. Here's a clip of that. But I gotta get this thing home. I'm gonna use the carburetor off of this on another pickup I'm working on. But then I got this old piece of junk, the 59 Apache, that I've actually traded off. I actually threw this in on trade on the junkyard dog truck. Gave the guy too much money with these trades, but that's how it goes sometimes. So we'll be loading that up here in a second. Oh yeah, boys, we're about to get wet. If I can get this thing back in here, it's like playing a game of Tetris when you got too much junk. Comment below if you can relate. Let's see if you can handle that. Thing's not worthless after all. All right, so that was the easy part. So now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to take these wheels and tires off this frame to be able to roll the Apache onto the trailer. So I'm gonna have to jack this up and pull these off and then head back and go get another one. It's raining. Thanks a lot, Beryl. Dadgum 6 lugs. Nobody has any 6 lugs anywhere. All right, here come with me. Listen, when you don't want to waste 2 jack stands on this piece of junk, you use what you got. I found this in the black of the mossy blue truck. I'm gonna see if it'll just help it keep that thing off the ground so it don't tip over. Let's see. Well, it works for today. We'll see what Beryl does to it. Well, I'm headed back to go get the Apache. I wanted to take a minute and just give a special shout out to my very first member sign up, the Knowles Garage. The Knowles Garage was the first one to sign up to be a ShOp-DaWg. So I've got a first member t-shirt coming out your way, brother. Thank you for supporting the channel. It doesn't cost much to join up for the ShOp-DaWgs, just less than a cup of coffee per month. And you're really supporting what I do. You're helping me to create content. If I could get several of you guys to sign up, it could really make a huge impact in what we're able to purchase, what tools we're able to get, stuff like that. So thank you, the Knowles. I really appreciate your kindness and your support and look forward to interacting with you on a more personal level in the future. So everybody else that wants to be a part of that and get access to some members only videos and live streams and just kind of a little bit more closer relationship with me, I would love for you to sign up so that we can get to know each other more and we can make this channel grow and do bigger and better things at OK Speed Shop. Let's go! All right, we're back. Yeah. So here's the next dilemma. There's no front panel on this bed and it's just propped up by an old gas tank and like a rock over there. I want to haul all this together, so I think what I'm going to have to do is tie the bed on so it doesn't drag the ground when I go to load it up. So as you can see, the bed has been professionally reinstalled as it was from the factory. So now that is going to travel perfectly with no issues, not flying off and out into the middle of the road, killing everyone behind me. Perfect. Ready, Danny? We're gonna make it. It's good. You've taught me well, Danny. My bed gonna hang or is it gonna clear?
Yeah, buddy.
Think that'll ride? Something you don't see every day. Dust to dust. Got another one loaded up, headed back to the scrapyard. Man, I'm so glad to get rid of some of this extra crap so that I can work on all the good crap. May even need to bring in some more crap. That's good crap to work on after I finish working on the crap that I have right now. Don't you come back. Now for just a few miscellaneous items here. We'll kick this thing out. Got one more load of crap from the other place. And we're done. This and this and this is all that remains. Oh yeah, and that seat. I just got to get this onto that trailer. That, tie it down, and we're done. I'll relax, get started. Whoa. Dang. You ever feel like you're going at a wasp? If you don't have a ball cap, you feel like you're brought a knife to a gunfight. Karate, karate. Danny's hooking me up with some bolts. Thank you, Danny.
You're welcome.
Well, I forgot to video it, but there's all the crap that we just unloaded off of there. Man, all our crap is hauled off. So now it's time to go unhook this trailer, get out of the rain, get some dry socks on, and get something to eat. It's 4:17 p.m. right now, and I haven't eaten anything all day, except that package of Reese's right now that I didn't tell my wife about. So here's the deal today. You remember my wife's new car that we picked up last week. It's not driving yet, and the back window is out of it, so it gets to live under the roof in my typical parking spot. My nice truck gets to live outside now. But the dilemma that creates is all my trucks are blocked into the shop. The red truck in the back doesn't run. This one runs, but it's blocked in by this one. So I'm gonna have to tow it out and then drive the blue truck out and then go get the 57, put it in the shop, put everything back together. I need a bigger shop. Okay, I guess let me drag this thing out of the way. All right, it gets to hang out right here for now. Gotta back this truck out, put it there. And I gotta get in that truck, put it in the shop, and then get this truck, or this car back. A little bonus content on the mossy blue truck. I did replace the ground cable because the ground cable was still giving me some fits on smoking out this little accessory ground here. So let's see if she starts now. This sucker's been twisting out of time pretty easily too, so I'm hoping that I've got all of that figured out. So let's see if she'll start. Running pretty good now. I did want to show you one thing that I noticed on this thing. So it's still not running quite right. So I picked up a little temperature gun to see if I had any dead cylinders. Turns out I do. I want to show you. So if I shoot the number 8 cylinder, it shows 315 or so. Number 6, 320. Pushing 300 here on number 4. This guy, number 2, she ain't getting the fire. All right, you go back over here to 7. We got 250 or so. 400. 380. 230. We're all across the board there on the temperatures. What do you guys think that means? Do you think that's like a spark plug or a plug wire or the combination? I mean, I put new plugs in it when I started messing with it, but it could be that they've gotten fouled out. These are still the original spark plug wires that were on it, so maybe I changed those things out. New plugs, see if that helps. But that's for another day. That was bonus. I'm gonna drive this thing out of here now, get it out of the way, see if I can get the brown truck inside. I was able to sneak her up under the backside of the camper shed, so maybe that'll be a little bit better than being totally out in the weather. Now to see if I can get this old girl to start again, I'm gonna back her into the shop so that when we're done, I can tow that thing backwards back into her dry spot. This thing sometimes gives me a hard time starting, we'll see. And there's ground. If this thing starts right up, I'll be amazed. Isn't this a cool truck? All my crap in the back of it right now. Oh, there's my gas. I've been looking for that. Come on, baby. I have to throw a little gas in the carb, or it's actually a TBI. That should do it, just enough to give her a little bit of a wake up. That ain't good. I have a bad connection or something. Never heard it do that before. Okay, give her one more try. What is the starter doing? Are you kidding me? Weird. I don't know why I'd be making that noise. It sounds like my starter is kicking out, but the starter was working fine when I parked it here the other day. The only thing I can think of is maybe like on the blue truck, my starter was doing that when my timing was out. So I'm gonna loosen up the distributor and see if I can tweak on the timing and see if it'll just give me enough timing to go ahead and let that starter engage. We'll see. So I twisted the distributor this way, so that'd be counterclockwise. See if it has any different effect on the way that starter's hitting. No? Okay, so let's try the other way. Give that a try. Like some electrical zapping somehow. What in the world? So the battery was getting a little bit weak. I was just trying to bump the starter over a little bit and see if I could get it to take. So I hooked up the old Hobo Freight Viking. See if we can get a little more battery juice to get this thing to start. Oh yeah! Battery, it wasn't enough to kick that starter over, but healthy now. Okay, so now we can work on her a little bit. I guess what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to try to fix the shifter linkage. So when I installed the new shifter rod that controls like the hand shifter that controls the transmission, that puts it in park and reverse and neutral and drive and all that, I didn't install it right. Go figure. And one of my buddies, Wendell Giles, he told me that I had installed the little transmission piece set too high, and I needed to rotate it down a little bit while it's still in park and then put the rod on. So I'm gonna try to do that, and I'm gonna try to get the front brakes working. Once we do that, this thing is gonna be a much better little rig, and I'm gonna get a permanent battery for it, quit stealing the battery off of it. Right now there's a temporary battery on it. Once I get all that stuff done, then it'll just be like little easy stuff to do, make it look pretty and put headlights in and crap like that. But now that I got it in a dry place, let me jack her up, see if I can get under there to the shifter linkage. Here's all my new parts, the new steering shaft. I already have this piece attached to the transmission, which I had to change it, but I'm just going to use the one that's already on there. So these I don't need. But the new shaft, the new end, stuff like that. But I just pulled off the old steering shaft, or the shifter linkage, I mean, that I tried to fabricate. I forgot how bad it was, guys. I mean, that was a long time ago when I was trying to figure this out, and the thing would not shift into park. So I just kept trying to change it and maybe think, you know, maybe I bought the wrong one, or maybe it was at the wrong angle, and I don't know. Let me just show you guys. Guys, don't judge me too hard on this, okay? I was doing my best. I mean, just look. Don't. I mean, you never know. I mean, this could have worked. So we got a couple different items here. I don't know why it didn't work. Okay, so here's the gear selector on the transmission. Now, all the way to the back is park. And I already confirmed that the gear shifter by the steering column is in park. Now, here's the way I had this set up before, and this is why it wouldn't shift into park. It would only go up to reverse. And when I talked to Wendell, he said that this in park needs to come off and be rotated to just like one click above horizontal with the ground. So I got her pulled out of there, and as you can see, this is kind of like a slotted hole that has to fit on the orientation of this slotted bolt. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to loosen this little Allen head and twist that so that the orientation is right. So looking at this thing on the truck, and now it seems as though that, okay, well, I was going to show you guys that piece needed to be inverted, but it fell out. So use your imagination. The way it was, which I really can't remember now, needs to be different. I had to review the footage, but I think it should be that way. So let me go throw it back on the transmission and see if that makes a difference. So it doesn't quite fit the way it needs to go, so I think I need to rotate this piece a little bit more and try to get it slightly above horizontal. I'm thinking that that should be right. Now I'm going to tighten it down and try to connect the steering shaft and see if it'll go through the gears. So I slid the shaft down through there. It's attached to the transmission on the bottom, but it's got to hit the linkage connector right here. So the shaft is too long. So I'm gonna have to cut it to hit about right here. Hey dude.
Bandit got a new haircut.
The shop lion's no longer a lion anymore. He's kind of a
Poodle.
standard poodle now.
Poodle boy.
So I made a little mark right here, and this is about where that little bolt is that this hole has to go through. So I'm going to take this back off and figure out how far I need to cut for this to fit and that line to be where the bolt is. Go ahead and say it. You want to be on camera or say something? What you got to say? Oh, now you don't want to talk? You don't want to talk now?
Shout out to Steve.
I don't know what it is about you, Steve, over at Cross Thread Garage and Salvage, but anytime I get a text from you, Lenny thinks it's funny to say, "Who are you talking to, Steve? Is it Steve?"
You didn't have to tell them.
Steve, what's up, Steve? Okay, so here was our initial mark. Here is our cut mark, so that this thing lines up right there, and the hole is perfect. Time to get the grinder out. Yee. Winnie was hanging around in the shop. I put her to use, so I have myself a cameraman now. I'm gonna cut this off, reinstall the end, and see if we've got gear shiftage. All right.
Toot toot.
Okay, hopefully this is not gonna throw sparks at you guys. Definitely just throwing sparks at myself. You still recording?
Yes.
Am I on camera?
Yes.
You cutting my head off?
No. Might be cutting your head off, but not you.
Oh, it did fit. Nice. Okay.
You guys won't be seeing me in a lot of the videos in the future because I am busy like for the rest of the month. I am going to Branson to see the Esther play with my Nana and my cousin and my great aunt and my other great aunt. And then I'm going to my dad's parents. They live in Illinois, 8 hours away from us, to stay with them for 5 days. And then I'll be back for 1 day. And then I'm going to my mom's parents. They're where we live part-time, and then in Calera part-time. So I'm going to stay with them. So that's what I'm doing for the rest of my summer.
So as you can see, as you can't see, as you can now see, I got her tightened back down, fit like a glove. I know you never doubted me in the world because we only do top-notch, first quality work here.
I doubted you before.
So let me see if I can tell if this is working or not. You can see through the floor here, the shifter, and get out of here. And our selector here. I'm gonna see if I can put her in neutral. Golly, it's not working. No worky. Dang it. So I disconnected the shifter linkage from up above, and so this just is all free now. I came down here to shift here, and I can't even budge it here, so I'm thinking maybe that I just have this piece too tight. So I'm gonna back this off, try to reconnect everything, and see if it'll budge then. So after loosening that little bolt up a little bit, let's see what we got here. I think we got it. I think we're good. So I'm pretty much calling the gear shifter thing fixed for now. One other problem we've been having with this air ride, which there's a lot of stuff going on right here that has to be fixed up, but the air is leaking off. So every single time I go to start the truck, I have to wait for the whole tank to fill up to have enough air in the bags to raise it up. And I think part of the reason is I didn't use thread locker when I put the MPT fittings in. I just did like the little tape, and that was not good. So I'm going to start backing all these out and put a little thread locker in each one, and hopefully it'll be a little bit more airtight, and hopefully we can keep the air in the bags a little bit longer. Once I do that, then all I have to do is address the brakes, get the front brakes a little bit stronger, and we'll be cruising, baby. Okay, so after what feels like hours, because it was, I've got every air inlet taken out, cleaned off, and I applied thread locker. There is still one T-fitting that is a plastic fitting because I didn't have the right one that may leak. And I may end up having to tear the front end apart and put thread locker on those bags on the front. Maybe. I can't remember if I did that. We'll see if it bleeds off. Hopefully it'll be okay. I think what I'm going to do, I still got to mess with the front brakes, but I'm really just about to quit for the day and want to see if this is going to stay aired up. So I'm going to let it down off the jack stands, air it up, maybe drive it around, use the gear shifter, and we'll do brakes tomorrow. How about that? So I went to fire this thing up, and there was no power to the compressor. Well, it turns out we blew a little 70 amp fuse. Now I have no idea if I have anything else like this anywhere. So we may be dead in the water today. I'm gonna go look around the shop, see what I can figure out. Welcome back, everybody. Even though you didn't go anywhere, for me, it's the next day. So I'm welcoming myself back to you guys. Went and got a new fuse. It's hard to find a 70 amp weird fuse like that blew on this thing. I don't even know how it blew. Maybe when I was just disconnecting something, who knows. Anyway, before I wire that back in and put all that back up, I think while I got it jacked up, I'm gonna go ahead and pop these tires off and see about bleeding those front brakes and get them a little stronger. Because if I can get those right, and if my airline fixes worked, and if I can get that fuse fixed, this thing should be getting pretty solid. So let me pull these off and check on these brakes. Hey, real quick, I want you guys to notice what I'm not using. I'm not using the Hypersuck impact that you're used to seeing me struggle with. I have purchased a Milwaukee Fuel brushless M18 impact thanks to one subscriber who was generous enough to send me some money just to get a new impact. He was sick of seeing me jack with that thing, and he said, here's some money, go get something for the shop. I knew this is exactly what I needed. He requested to remain anonymous, but you know who you are. Dude, thank you so much for being so kind and supportive of the channel. You're the best. You guys are awesome. Now, enough of the mushy stuff, back to work. Broke it. So I've been thinking I was crazy because I could not find the bleeder screw anywhere on this disc until I realized somebody has already found the bleeder screw and proceeded to delete it. So now I've got to figure out how to get that out. And then I went around to the other side and found the bleeder screw over there. And it's interesting. I mean, I thought, you know, these threads look kind of big. And I realized there's no fluid coming through this bleeder screw, no matter how hard I pump the brakes. But I don't know if you can see, but there is, it's threaded into some threads there. And then on this bottom side, there is no hole for fluid to come through. So that thing's not bleeding anything. I mean, it's just like an empty, like it's a closed off hole. I'm gonna go back to town now and get some new bleeder screws and have to figure out how in the world I'm gonna get that thing out. So I did go ahead and run by the parts store and pick up this new fuse. It is an 80 amp. The other one was a 70 amp, but I think it's gonna be fine. I think I just forgot to disconnect the battery when I was unplugging all the wires for the tank back there. So I don't foresee any issues, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try, get that back installed, install this wire here, and put the wheels and tires back on. I'll get the bleeder screws later, and we'll see if we got some airtight connections. So here's the next dilemma of the day. So this is my main power line going back to power my compressors. And then this is that fuse link that was broken. And you can see that there's a set screw right here that I have to screw in to be able to connect these. But the problem is this is not solid wire. And whenever I run that screw down, it just literally like splits these little fibers. I don't know if there's supposed to be an insert that goes in there. It seems like there is, but it also seems like I don't have it. So I found an old scrap extension cord, and I'm just going to strip all the wire off of this and see if I can maybe wrap that wire with this other wire, and maybe it'll hold it together enough to make a connection. All right, so I got this wire wrapped a little bit. We'll see if that just gives us a little bit more girth and a little bit more sturdidity. I don't know, rigidity to hold together to go in there. Well, that worked absolutely perfectly, and I had no doubt in my mind, and I know you guys didn't either, because I always do things with the utmost of excellence around here in OK Speed Shop. I got the wheels and tires back on now. I'm going to put her down off the jack, air this thing up, and test out the gear shifter and see if it'll stay aired up. But again, I've got to move this thing out of the way. Apparently, we had her in reverse and not in park. Whoops. Let's see if we did any damage. Yo. Well, good news and bad news. The good news is this engine was trash anyway. The bad news is it's a mess I gotta clean up. At least it didn't hit this. That could have been even worse. Yeah, so it's the same problem. It's this shifter is not shifting to park. It's just shifting up to reverse. Thank God nobody was behind me. How come every single one of these videos I have some sort of catastrophic failure? What to do? I guess I need to take that thing out and click it down one more. See if that makes any difference. If you guys got any ideas, let me know. I mean, I don't know if this thing's installed wrong or what in the world is going on. Guys, I had to take a break, but check out Bandit's new haircut. He's not the shop line anymore. I don't really know what he looks like. I don't really like this haircut. He's like this shop weasel or something. Bandit, what's up with your hair, bro? What do you think about it? Mid? Yeah. It'll grow back. It'll grow back, man. You can still get a girlfriend one day. I don't know. You don't have to be ashamed. It's fine. You'll be fine. So here's the plan today on mission extraction of broken bleeder screw. I think I'm going to try to drill a little hole in that and use a screw extractor and see if that's going to be stout enough. I've already soaked it in some PB Blast. If that doesn't work, I'm either going to use the die grinder and cut a slit in it and see if I can back it out with a flathead screwdriver. If that doesn't work, I'm going to weld a bolt onto it and try to get it out with the socket wrench. Well, that doesn't work. I did drill through the brake bleeder, so now there's brake fluid squirting out, which is a good sign because that means I know the rubber hoses are good. But I got to get this bleeder out, and all my brake fluid's probably going to drain out. Maybe I'll go to the die grinder method. Now I'm going to see if I can get it out with that. So option A and option B both failed. So I've got a little bolt screwed in there. I'm just going to try to tack it into the top of that bleeder and just see if I can get enough bite on it to where I can back it out with a wrench. If not, I may just have to get a whole new caliper, and I really don't want to do that. I don't have much faith, guys. Well, none of this is working. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to drill it out and then maybe just retap some threads. That's all I know how to do. If that doesn't work, I'll have to get a new caliper. I'm gonna try one last thing. I found a little screw extractor set. Tap that in there, and I'm gonna see if I can put the old Derek Bieri on it and just pry it out. Well, I give up. I just broke that. All right, it's caliper time. I'm gonna pull this caliper off because there's two different options. One's a heavy and one's a light duty. I don't really know which one it is. I think it's probably the light duty, but I'm gonna go ahead and pop this caliper off and take it to the parts store before they close, get it replaced so that I can get this thing out of the way. So as you can see, I already broke free the banjo bolt, and now these great big deals right here, I just gotta pull those out, and I think the thing should come out. I'll give it a try. Just gotta give her the old Puddin's Fab Shop love tap. The old hammer. Sucker is in there. Oh yeah, right into the oil. That's nice. What's the deal here? Ooh, this is just one of those moments where you gotta stop, take a deep breath, remind yourself, this too shall pass. Sorry about that. I'm on my way to the parts store to get a caliper. How does a caliper come off? We got it. All right, let's compare and see what all this one came with. This thing's wrapped like a Christmas present. All right, here's the old one, here's the new one. Everything looks pretty good. Oh good, we even got a new banjo bolt, that's good. So I gotta move the brake pads over from this one to this one now. There you have it, folks. I don't know, man, there ain't really much brake pad left, is there? That may be why we didn't have brakes. That's just straight up metal. Is that supposed to be rubber? All right, after a little research, found out that's okay that that's metal-like. It's supposed to be that way. So I'm gonna put some brake cleaner on it, rough it up a little bit, and swap it on. Ready to rock. There they are installed. You should be able to just pull those little slide bolts out and slide it back over the rotor, tighten it down, connect the rubber brake hose. We should have brakes again. The caliper has been installed, and now I'm just gonna throw the wheel and tire back on, and I already bled the brakes back, so let's see how that worked. And we should have shifter linkage now. After crawling around under there, I got all that loosened up and adjusted, and I don't know, maybe we're fixed. I don't know if I'm that naive. Okay, maybe I didn't have the brakes bled as good as I thought I did. Thank God I was in reverse, because she just flew backwards and the brake pedal went totally to the floor. So I guess I'll spend a little time and finish bleeding these. All right, I really got them bled this time, except for that one that has the helicoil on the front passenger side. So I don't know if that's gonna mess the bleed up, but I got all the other three bled. So let's see what we have now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that caliper out. The brakes are just still super spongy and not really stopping the truck. So I'm gonna try to find a spot to put it to where it's not gonna crash into anything, and that'll be a project for Monday.
All right, good morning, dudes. It's about 7 a.m. Had a little time off work, so getting a little extra shop time in today. I did go get the other caliper for this side because remember that brake bleeder had a helicoil in it. So we'll pull this wheel and tire off, throw this passenger side front caliper on, re-bleed the brakes, and see if we can drive this thing around without crashing into a house or something. Let's do it. So the tools you need to take these calipers off, very basic. These two things. You need an 11mm wrench to take off the rubber brake hose on the banjo bolt, and then 3/8 Allen head to remove the caliper. That's basically it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start prying on this. I got a little catch pan under here to catch the brake fluid that drains out, and I've got plenty of extra brake fluid because it's probably gonna run out by the time I get this figured out. Let's get started. I'm gonna have to get a dang cheater bar for this thing. You guys would be proud of me. I was smart enough to pinch off the brake hose so that not all of my brake fluid runs out. Now I'm just trying to get these little slide bolts out. One out. This one's kind of hung up. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Ooh, whole brake pad just fell out. That's not good. Caliper removed. Oh. And once again, old versus new. So I'm gonna clean up these brake shoes, get them transferred over, and put it back on. All right, caliper assembled. Now we should be able to just throw this thing on and get back to work. All right guys, easy as that. New calipers installed. Now all I gotta do is re-bleed the brakes, take it for a drive. All right, amigos, it's the moment of truth. We're gonna see if we got some stopping power on the old 57. Push through the brake. Like whenever you kick it in gear, she wants to push hard. I mean, I bled all the brakes. We got brand new calipers. We got plenty of brake fluid. I don't know. You guys help me out. I don't know if there's like something that would cause me to not have the vacuum that I need. I mean, it'll stop, but it's just not, I don't know that I can do a burnout, like it's just gonna push through. So I'm asking you guys for help. How come I'm not getting the stopping power that I need? I really gotta fix this door. So to recap, we bled all the brakes, we got all the fluid we need, we got new calipers on the front, but when I push the brakes, I have to push it hard to the floor and it just kind of slowly comes to a stop. So what am I missing? You guys help me out. Please comment on this video, like, subscribe to follow along on this build. I need your help on this. Thank you for joining the ShOp-DaWgs. If any of you have signed up for memberships, you guys are the best. Anyway, please help. Stay tuned for more content. Have a good day.